Hey guys, welcome back. We're the Southern Beer Review, John and William. We have arrived at stop number 11 on the Magic City
Almost
Brewery
there.
Trail. Almost done, hard to believe. This is Cahaba Brewing Company. Again, along with Good People Trim Tab and Avondale, one of the original 4 craft breweries in Birmingham. We are at the location that is probably, it's been here 7 or 8 years at least, and it's a great space. I mean, the seating goes on forever. We're
Huge
right across
place.
the street from Redmont Distilling Company, which produces the, nationwide famous Redmont vodka. You may have heard Charles Barkley do ads for that before. And I wanted to show you this too. They've been doing their flights in these little handy dandy Cahaba state of Alabama holders since we've been coming here. So not that adds to the experience, but it's definitely
But it sort of does.
definitely
Yeah.
cool. So again, stop number 11, Cahaba, and I'm excited about this, guys, because I've not been here in a while, and I'll let John introduce what we're going to have.
Before I introduce things, I wanted to mention that we actually did walk here. We just reviewed Avondale, and you'll see that video before this one. But we just walked here. It was about a half-mile walk, pretty easy walk. So I thought that was pretty cool.
So the brewery trail is a thing. If you have your mind set on walking between these, it's definitely doable.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to be sampling the standard, the flagship for Cahaba, and it's the Cahaba Blonde. I can't confirm this, but my guess is this is the best-selling beer made in Alabama. Could be wrong. I'd like to confirm it. In the comments, if you know differently, let me know. But this is a high-selling beer in Alabama. It's very pleasing and simple and easy to drink, but still tasty. This is the Cahaba, one of my favorite IPAs in Alabama. This is the Irish Stout, which I've had a few times, but I don't have a clear recollection of it. But it's another sort of low alcohol, about 4.5%. And then we're going to finish up with the local lager, which I've never had, and it's super low. I'm older I get, the more attracted I am to low alcohol beers. This one comes in at about 3.7. So I'm gonna see if it's got any taste left at that point. We'll see.
All right, so Cahaba Blonde.
The flagship.
And I probably could have started talking about the blonde before we had a sip of it, but if I'm in a restaurant and no matter where it is in Alabama, and they have Cahaba Blonde on draft, I generally tend to lean towards that. It's very smooth, very light, very crisp, just the ever so slightest hit of lemon, I think.
Yeah.
Very slight. Unbelievably crisp, smooth beer.
So drinkable. I mean, they really hit this one out of the ballpark for just something easy to pick up on the weekend. Compete with almost anything out there for your barbecue or for just having one on the couch. Just a great all-around beer.
It's the perfect beer for any occasion. Go to a Barons game, get a blonde. Go out to eat, get a blonde.
It's almost like the beeriest beer.
That's
like,
right.
It's just a beer.
Right.
It does what a beer should.
Cahaba
Yep.
IPA. One of the first IPAs in Birmingham I had, along with Good People and Trim Tab in the Avondale Battlefield.
Yeah, it's got a real good sort of candy-scented nose. Real sweet smelling.
I'm going to describe the beer this way, and I hope this makes sense. And if you know as much about beer as we do, which isn't a whole lot, you'll probably get this. To me, the Cahaba IPA is what an IPA used to taste like. Classic, not so hoppy that it's undrinkable, but hoppy enough to make it an IPA and not a blonde or a light.
More balanced than
More
some
balanced.
of the stuff you see today. It's got a hint of sweetness. It's got some pininess. It's got the right amount of bitterness. There's a little bit of caramel, and I would describe it as a sort of a sticky IPA.
Right.
And yes, I remember why I enjoyed this IPA so much.
Of the IPAs that hit the market first in Birmingham, this is what they used to taste like. And not that they still don't, obviously it's the same recipe, but I mean today you can get IPAs that are so tricked out with fruit flavor. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it. If you just, hey, I want an IPA to have this Cahaba, can't go wrong.
Hey, you want to switch
Let's
the
do it.
order and let's do the lager before the stout? So this is the light lager, comes in at 3.7%. I'm going to take a sip of water to get that.
That's pretty light. Not in a bad way. It's just if a beer comes in at under 4, that's about what you would expect. Easy drinking, summer beer.
Do I taste a little? I'm almost tasting a little bit of corn, but I don't know if they use corn with it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, in Alabama, that wouldn't be
It tastes a little
too far-fetched.
It tastes a little, a lot like you might get like a Coors Light or something, honestly.
Right.
Which is not. I'm not saying that as an insult. It's a little bit more flavorful than that. So,
Right.
you're looking for a good lawnmower beer. This might be something to look for.
Yeah, I think most of those national brands come in at about 4.1 or 2. But very good.
I have nothing bad to say about that beer. The Irish Stout. I've good memories of this. Bitter chocolate smell.
That really holds up well. As the Cisco truck goes by, to me, that's a stout. That's what a stout's supposed to be.
Yeah, the thing I like about this stout, as opposed to some of the other Irish dry kind of stouts we've tested on this channel, it's not as thin, it's not as watery. It's still got the low alcohol, but it doesn't give you it doesn't sound like it doesn't make you drinking water.
It packs a punch.
Yeah.
Coffee,
It's got a better mouthfeel.
vanilla beans, chocolate, typical stout taste. And again, here's the thing. With the blonde, the Cahaba IPA, and the Irish Stout, these are not only 3 great, and the light lager too, but it's newer. The first 3 I mentioned are flagship Birmingham beers.
You can find them in the grocery stores,
Right.
just about everywhere. Although I don't, Cahaba, yeah, you can still find it.
I mean,
I've seen recently.
The Birmingham craft beer scene was built in part on these 3 beers.
Yeah.
In addition to others from other breweries. So again, come down to Cahaba. It is the 11th stop on the Magic City Brewery Trail because it's further out. I mean, we're getting towards Crestwood, but the space is fantastic. I mean, I don't know how you'd fill all this up. There's seating from where we are. You could probably go 50 yards in each direction.
Yeah, easy.
And there's just
And then there's the inside space.
And the
It's
inside's
just about
great.
as big.
right.
So it's a cool place. They have cool light holders.
Right.
They've got nice bartenders. They even have some games over the side. We've been here before and played games while we drink our beer.
Yeah, it's a great space. Oh, by the way, I meant to say this. Cahaba was originally, if you're following the beer trail, in the space that Uproot is in now, and was then occupied by Ghost Train.
Yeah.
So Cahaba, Ghost Train, and then now Uproot's there. So if you go to Uproot, that's where Cahaba
That
was
the
originally.
original Cahaba.
And they made a good choice because they have a great space out here now. So, okay, you want to go first this time?
Rating times. Wow, this is a tough one for me. All the beers are high quality. I enjoy the place quite a bit. It's a Birmingham brewery.
Pull the trigger on it. Go
9.
ahead. Yeah, we do share a brain because when I was starting to think about what I was going to rate it, I was going to say the same thing. I could take the light lager out, just do the first 3, and it might be even higher. But the blonde, the blonde, the Cahaba, and the stout are just classic in the styles.
Yeah.
It's
Very well done.
Very well done. Yep.
Or very well crafted.
So 9 overall, guys. Come out and see the folks at Cahaba. Check out Redmont Distillery while you're here, and this would be stop number 11.
And then walk to True Story.
Yep. See y'all.